In today's video, I want to talk about some comments that were left by a male viewer on the YouTube channel under the video on basic men. Now, in that video, I discussed some of the things that term men define as being making them good men. Things like having a job, having a car, having gone to school, not having gone to prison, taking care of the children that they created, paying the bills that they created, having an apartment, this kind of thing. In their mind, that made them, quote, good men. In my mind, that just made them have the basic foundations of adulthood upon which they can build to increase the likelihood of them, if they're looking for a mate, finding one of quality. Now, this guy says that women, based on that video, should not expect anything from men. The ideals that we have, we need to discard them and just look for a man that's going to love us. I have a lot to say on this. I will be showing you some of the quotes that he made, the posts that he made rather, some of which I did not put live on the channel because I was saving them for this video. But yeah, that's what we're going to talk about. The ideals that women have for the man in their life and why he thinks that you should let them go. This is Deb Cooper. I'll be right back. Okay, this guy says that he doesn't like the term basic man, that we should drop all our ideas of what a man should be. A man can't make you happy, that's your responsibility. But you can drop all your expectations and fall in love with someone for who they are and not who they should be. Women, whatever you ask for, be willing to provide. Okay, I'm going to stop here and we're going to discuss this, paragraph by paragraph, because he just goes seriously from bad to worse. So let's start here. Okay, he doesn't like the term basic man. As I said in my comment, who gives a shit? Because, in my world, he's so irrelevant. It's like a mosquito smashed on my windshield. So then he says that we should drop all our ideals of what a man should be. No, you should not. If anything, based on my almost 30 years in the relationship business, more women need to have ideas. There's so many women who have like no expectations of men other than, like I said, the basics. And for them, that's like an exciting thing. He has a job and he's never been to prison, or he's only been one time, and he's a baby daddy, but he takes care of his kids, and this kind of thing. I mean, to me, that's my phone. To me, those are just basic things. I mean, there's nothing to be excited about. And I want women to elevate and raise their standards for the men that they allow into their lives and into their beds and to have children by. He's advocating that you let all of that go. And I'm saying that's what has millions of women, that letting that go and not having any expectations of men, just taking a man because he's breathing and he comes along and he, quote, likes you. That's what has millions of women in abusive relationships, in relationships where they're mistreated, in relationships where they're not supported. The man runs off and does whatever he wants to do, cheats on them, lies to them, steals their money to buy drugs, beats on their ass. Just one drama thing after another, because those women had no standards and no expectations for what their man should be, the qualities that he should possess. So he's saying, drop all your expectations, because I reprinted what he put here word for word. All, not some, all of your expectations, and fall in love for someone for who they are and not who they should be. No, because see, that's the kind of stuff that gets women into, he's beating her ass, she's in the hospital. Well, why don't you leave him then? Well, because I love him, though. I love him. You need to love somebody who's going to show you that they love you by respecting you, by supporting you, by encouraging you, by being there for you and the children that you have with him. He needs to be there on a scale for everyone in his family. Not, I mean, you're of course his priority, but his kids, his mama, his siblings. I mean, he needs to be a support system and a resource for love and assistance and guidance and all of that for the young people in his family as well as the elders. So then he says, whatever you ask for, be willing to provide. No. Because, see, once again, these are the kind of things, by saying things like that, I did a whole video on it about, the video is titled, Women Are Too Independent, You Made Us That Way. This is an example, because if we're doing all of these things for ourselves, we have no need for you. No, I mean, none at all. I mean, so you want a woman to be able to basically fill in the role of being the man, and so you don't just come in and just, she has no expectations of you because she's already meeting all her needs for herself. So you just get to coast and not produce. And see, that is another problem that's happening with a lot of young women, well, older ones too. You guys do everything, and so the men come into your lives, they don't have to do anything. You take care of them, and actually he even had the nerve to brag about the fact that you take care of him, and he don't have to do nothing. He don't even have to work because I make enough money for both of us, blah blah blah. That is a stupid statement. You should never say that with, like, and say it in a way that sounds prideful. It makes you sound stupid. How you gonna have a grown man sitting up in your house not doing nothing and not being productive? How does that work? So then he says, I am sorry, a lot of you women are looking for women out of your men. You want your husband to do what you think he should do, but he is not you. He is who he is. No one have to do anything for you, but they would because they respect and love you. No, he has to do things because we're in a partnership. Each partnership, whether it's a business partnership where you both sign contracts or a union of a romantic nature, each of you go into those relationships with expectations, and there are certain standards to which you have to perform. So you don't just get married to somebody and they just do what the fuck they want to do. No. And you sitting there waiting and hoping and wishing that he loves you the way that you need him to. No. He's going to love and respect me because that's part of the agreement. If he wants my love and respect, he better give it to me. And the same thing with, the expectation that you have that your man be about something, be someone that you can be proud of. And there's a long list in that video. I think I made, like, I don't know, listed 33, 35 qualities that I thought would be good for women to consider, that are up above the basics. So then he says, show appreciation all the time. Don't just say what you should be doing, because no, it's not. Huh? It's what he chooses to do, just like you do. Okay, I don't know what that means, but I'm going to only show appreciation when appreciation is due. I'm not going to show appreciation for you doing basic shit like getting up and taking a shower. Oh, honey, you took a shower today. You smell so good. What is he, 3? You know what I mean? No, you are a grown-ass man. You need to do some stuff just because you know that that's what you're supposed to do. I shouldn't have to tell you everything to do like you're a child. So then, I put my comment up. I will let you read that as I, move on. I'll leave that up so you can read it. So in his response to me, he says, you have been picking the wrong men, beautiful, but that's because the right ones already failed you before they met you. Okay, if he failed me, then he's not the right one. That makes no damn sense at all. If he is a failure at anything that I need in a man, he's not the man for me. He might be good for somebody else whose standards are lower. I'm not saying he's a horrible person, but he's definitely not the right man for me. And if he fails me, whether he was the right man or not, then at that point he becomes the wrong man and he's got to go. Okay. And it was interesting how he personalized this, not thinking, okay, she's been doing what she's been doing for 28, 29 years, almost 30. And maybe she's talked to a lot of people and had a lot of involvement with a lot of different men and women, and maybe that's where she's coming from. But nope, Nignogs don't think like that. They can't think, they have tunnel vision. They think everything you say is related to you personally, and that no woman ever reads a book, no woman has any friends, no woman ever talks on the phone, no woman ever interacts with any other women anywhere at any time ever. Everything that she says is based on her personal experience. See, that's an ignorant person who thinks like that. And there are some women that think like that too, and I'm telling all y'all that do that you're dumb. Okay, you're dumb and you need to work on that. So then he says they will never be your ideal. That's right. Because if they fail me, they will never be my ideal. You are correct there. That to me makes you indifferent about who they are. Why should I give a fuck who they are? It's like some dude who's like, likes to have sex with men and been in prison for 20 years and, he's a murderer or a child molester or something like that. Do you think I would care about who he is? Do you think I would care that he's not my ideal? See, I'm indifferent, because if not indifferent, even whatever the next level is down from indifferent, I gives no fucks. That's what that means. So then he says, you're already in love with your ideas, so no matter how good they are, if they're missing two things from your wish list, then they're terminated. Exactly. No man can live up to a wish list. Yes, let a man live up to a wish list. I was married to one. But what happens is, you guys who know that you don't want to do all that work and that you don't possess those qualities ever and never could because you're a lazy bum, then you say no man. But what you really are talking about is yourself. You mean you can't, or the guys that you hang out with can't. But that there are plenty of men who meet all of these qualities, have all of these qualities and more. And I'll go over the list with you ladies in a minute. So then he says, that's why I believe if you go into something expecting nothing, you will receive the heart of a person, and they will show you what real love is, and you will show appreciation, knowing that they don't have to treat you with respect, honesty, and loyal, but they do it because they choose you. Everyone should be treated with respect. Everyone should be treated in an honest, upfront way. And if you have friends or family, or a romantic partner or an employer, you should be loyal to them. That's because that's part of the package. Now, I'm not thinking that my boss is going to be loyal to me because he chose me. I wouldn't think that my neighbor or my friends are going to be. This is a silly statement. Love does not pay bills. Okay, love doesn't put food on the table. Love doesn't keep the lights on. Love doesn't make my back feel supported and somebody has my back. Love is what a lot of men say that they do, but they're steady out there cheating with other women, breaking their woman's heart. They say they love them, but they beat their ass and mess up their face and everything. They say they love their mothers, but they steal her money and jewelry and exchange it for drugs. I mean, these are the kind of things that come with this love when a woman has no other standards for behavior and no other expectations for treatment from a man that she lets into her life. Sir, you are talking so much shit, it's not even funny. I don't know where you get these thoughts from, where you think that women should let go of their standards and their ideals in a man, but still give their body, still have children for, and still give their life over to a man who doesn't meet their standards. That makes no fucking sense at all. None. And you ladies, you can't listen to guys like this. They're all over YouTube, they're all over the internet, Facebook and all these other different places, preaching this bullshit. They want you to have little to no standards so they can slide in, do nothing, have have full access to everything you got, your money, your body. I mean, it'll be like the dude in the video that I did a couple of weeks ago where I answered an advice question where he was saying that, a woman's supposed to give her resources to him for his agenda. That's the same mentality that this guy is presenting here. So forget what you want, forget your agenda. It's not important. It's what he wants and what he thinks that you should do and what he thinks you should give him so that he can, quote, love you when that's all he's offering. No. And he says, when I say drop your ideas, what I mean is it should be because it's something a woman would never know. How can I ever tell a woman how it is to be a woman? No, I have no idea about being a woman, so it would be a fool to tell you you're not woman enough or you need to be this type of woman because I'm not what you are. Sir, would you marry a 400-pound prostitute? Would you marry somebody who was a drug addict? Would you marry some woman who was happy not working and living off of men? Would you marry someone that your mother, met before and saw standing on the corner or in a strip club or something? Your brother just saw her in a strip club. I mean, what are you saying here? Because you can definitely have standards for ideas about the woman that you want in your life, the woman that you want to bear your children and to carry your last name. If you do not have those ideals, then you're stupid. That's all I can say. You then will just go open yourself up to any kind of drama that comes along. Somebody to give your ass AIDS or some herpes or something. I mean, what you gotta have standards. Everyone must have standards, and that's how you weed out the knuckleheads out of your world. You don't give them access to you. You don't give them access to your resources. You don't let them into your home, around your children, around your credit cards, your checkbooks, nothing. You don't let them anywhere near all of those things. Oh, so then he says, if a woman has to be able to provide what he's quoting me. If a woman has to be able to provide for what she seeks in a man, then what the hell does she need him for? Okay, so his answer to that question is balance. There is nothing like the heart of a man. It seems to me you think the only thing a man can do for you is give money and good sex. That's not true. If anyone replies to this, I will explain more of my thoughts. So I'm writing too much. Okay, he obviously didn't really listen to the whole video, because if I give 33, 35 things that a woman should look for a man besides money and good sex, then obviously he didn't listen to the whole video. He may not have listened to any of it except the very beginning, because he's not relating to the things that I actually said in the video. He's ignoring all of those things, and he's only saying money and good sex. And I mean, I listed those things as some basic qualities that women are trained to look for, but I expanded on that, like I said, with 33, 35 more things that he's not referencing at all. So I'm not sure there's a lot more than the heart of a man, because women have men's hearts all the time, but what good is that for her if he's not demonstrating that she has his heart on a daily basis with what he does and how he treats her? I mean, saying, well, you have my heart, I mean, that means nothing. Those are just words. What are you doing? Okay, that's what we want to see. What the fuck are you doing to prove that? So then he says, try it first. Date someone before you ask what they can do for you. No. That's a part of the thing. You don't ask them like right out, like, so what you gonna do for me? That's not what that video is saying at all. What I'm saying is, during the process of getting to know you, in those early phone conversations, maybe you actually go physically out on a date. Those are the opportunities that you have to investigate this guy, see what he's got going on. What is he offering you or whoever in a relationship that woman cannot provide for herself? What's he got going on? So he's like, so see how much different dating feels. Well, we also got to keep in mind that when men say dating, what they mean is screwing. Okay. So you would be screwing all these different dudes that you had no expectations for and that didn't meet your ideals, so that you can see how much he is better than the guys that you usually dismiss. Wow. Don't do that. Don't do that. That's that. There's another video. I'm gonna try to remember to link all these, called how black men want you to give a brother a chance. Don't do that. If you know going in the door, you find out very soon after meeting him that he doesn't meet your ideals. He's not what you want. There's some serious, holes in his character. He has a lot of things that you feel like you need before you can really feel like you're in a stable situation with a man that you would feel comfortable enough to marry. Because we know, love is one thing, like I keep telling you, but love don't keep lights on. Love don't pay car notes and insurance. Love does not pay for health care premiums. Love does not put shoes on your kids' feet, backpacks and books on their, for school clothes. It don't pay the mortgage. Love is great, Love is great, but it's such a very small portion of a good relationship. There's a lot more that you need to encompass besides the romantic part. You know, a guy's got to come with a lot more than that in order for you to feel comfortable tying your wagon to his, and you know, y'all ride down the road together. Because if, you know, if you make a choice based on just on the fact that you love him, you know, a few years later, you when you wake up to the reality of how lacking this man is, you're going to be in trouble, and then you're going to be in divorce court. So I advocate doing this work before you take that step. You got to be very shrewd about this, ladies. You know, I mean, it used to be when we had marriages, our parents did this work for us. They would choose who we was gonna marry. Very unemotionally, they was looking at dude's character, his family, what he had going on financially, his career, his ability to provide, you know, family dynamics, all kind of stuff. They made very strategic pairings in those days. But we kind of lost that somewhere, and you know, I mean, there's a lot of fractured homes, so we don't necessarily have our parents to make those choices for us anymore. So what we have to do is make them for ourselves. And it requires that you really separate your emotions from the reality of who this man is, his character, his personality, and what he's got going on that could be either helpful or harmful to you over the long run. So he says, why I abhor his ways? Well, I think I just explained them. So he says what he most would knows from successful marriages of 10, 20, and 30 years. Okay, just because somebody's together, that does not mean their marriage is rewarding, to, especially to the woman. It just means that they're together. Because, you know, you see a lot of these women, when that man dies, do you ever think about getting married again? Hell no. They don't want no parts of it. They're from an era where women were expected to get married. And so they got married, and they're, you know, they're in that, you know, I'm gonna make it work kind of thing, and they do, and they tolerate a whole bunch of bullshit, overlook a lot of things, you know, and some women are willing to do that and others are not, and they end up divorced. But you know, all of that doesn't qualify necessarily as a successful marriage. You're looking merely at the length of the marriage, not the dynamics and the emotional connection and the rewarding feelings that the woman is looking for. A lot of women just, you know, stop looking for them because they know they're not going to get them, and they realize they married the wrong man, but they just stay in it because they have kids or whatever. And so please, you know, don't even think just because they've been married that long that it means it's successful. Some are, but most are not. The women just stay because they don't have no other option, or they just too tired. So like when I was talking about, oh, where are my glasses? Let me look at my list. The 33, 35 things that I wrote them down as I listened to the video. I put things like mature, trustworthy, supportive, like a dude who's got your back. He's got a great personality, so you can take him places, and he doesn't like embarrass you by sitting there not having nothing to say or not getting the jokes and just, you know, being just a buster. A guy who's either educated and or intelligent, because some people are very intelligent but they're not educated, and others are educated and stupid. So, you know, whichever one is more important to you. I prefer both. A guy who's romantic but a good communicator. You know, he's open-minded. A guy who just wants you. He's showing you that by his commitment to you. A good listener. Emotionally strong. He's helpful. Like if he sees something that needs to be done around the house, he does it. Not this thing where, you know, well, that's woman's work. You know, I'm not doing that because that's, you know, that kind of attitude. You want a guy who's dependable, and who some of you say you want a God-fearing man. That's fine. You want a man of his word, and you definitely want a man who knows how to treat women, who's respectful, and who's faithful and dedicated, family-oriented, attractive and sexy, you know, great character, focused on growth, loyalty. All those kind of things come into play too. So you can have the basic dude, you know, that has a job and has an apartment, this and that, but your relationship with him will be so one-dimensional. What you want is a guy who brings a lot of richness to the relationship because of the man that he is. You know, he's smart, he has got something to talk about. You know, you're just amazed and impressed with his mind. He's well read, even if he's not well educated, maybe well traveled. So he has his, some stories to tell about his adventures. You want a guy who, if he tells you he's going to do something, he tells a neighbor he's going to do something, he tells his frat brothers he's going to do something, he tells his mama or his brother or sister he's going to do something. Each of you know he's going to come through because he is that kind of man. He's a man of his word. And so these are all things that really, when women don't have these things in their relationship, they're ultimately very sad, and they have to have like plan B, C, D, because they don't trust that their man is going to come through for them the way that they need him to. So they, depend on other people or put other things in place to make sure that what they want taken care of gets taken care of. And to me, that's you shouldn't have to do all that. You should have a man who holds up his end of the bargain. And anyway, those are my statements on that. You can read them, the things. I'm going to make his comments live so you can see them after I upload this video. And, take a look at it and see what feelings it strikes in you. Because I'm seeing where he's, negotiating for loser dudes who have no real quality components to give to a woman or to develop a relationship with a woman. He's advocating that you give them a chance anyway, and see if they can quote love you. It's like, I don't want you to love me because you ain't got shit happening. Then I'm just like, I'm bored just hearing about you already. I don't want to be bothered with you. I'm looking for some man who's better than you, who's bigger than you, who's got way more going on than you. That's what I want. And that's what I deserve to have because that's what I want. And you and nobody else is going to tell me to settle for less because that's what you think I should have. Fuck you. How about that? This is Deb Cooper from survivingdating.com. I'll be back with another video in a day or so. Bye-bye.